As part of our GAPIT50 tour, we've been to some amazing countries, and some of the things we've noticed when we've been travelling is some of our favourite TV programs have shown up along the way. One of those was Game of Thrones. Danielle and I really enjoyed the series. Danielle read some of the books, and when we were in Morocco, we got to get out and check out some of the amazing sights and sounds, particularly in Essaouira, where parts of Game of Thrones was shot. Now, this episode is a little bit different. You'll see in a minute we're in Croatia. That was where some of the shooting happened too for Game of Thrones. But we are in Northern Ireland in the movie set. Now, this episode will take you through step by step right through the whole movie set for the Game of Thrones tour, which for Danielle, a fangirl, that was an awesome opportunity to be on set in the Game of Thrones and to see all of the material that's there. So come along with us with the journey. So we've made it to Northern Ireland. We are now in country. Actually, I think it's country number 28. Actually, I think it's actually 20. We made it to country 27 here in Northern Ireland. It's actually, we think we're in the magical land of Frozen. Look at this, car park's iced out to the max. But we're here for the Game of Thrones tour, which is something Danielle's picked. This is her event, I'm supporting her. So we're in Banbridge, which is about an hour and a half north of Dublin. And this is the home of the Game of Thrones studio tour for the stuff that was shot up here. So you can see Danielle and I are on a packed bus heading away to the Game of Thrones tour. Where you park up, it's about a 10 or 15 minute drive to the actual Game of Thrones studios. So don't be late for that bus, and left smack on time. But we're under severe weather warnings right now here in Ireland, in Northern Ireland. So not a lot of people are out today as a result. Could be a quiet tour. Game of Thrones tour, studio tour, here we are. This cost us 60 New Zealand each, or about 65 each, just around 130 bucks. Let's go check it out.
Grateful to Trevor for indulging me today. As you can see, I'm super excited.
You've guessed it, I've actually been growing my hair and my beard to try and get a role with Game of Thrones. Hopeful, you never know. Food's over here. What a cool pad.
Can you see me tucked in there behind the family? Don't I just fit in well? As we walk past these awesome portraits, we are receiving some instructions.
So here we are, coming out into the studio. This is cool.
You're not actually supposed to record when you're coming through out of the tunnel, but we did that just for you. And the first thing you see through the smoke is the first men and the giant. He's about 12 to 14 feet high. What?
I'm thinking of auditioning. So more than 30% of Game of Thrones was shot here on these studios, on these grounds. So that's pretty cool. If you're a Game of Thrones fan like Danielle is, you definitely want to come and have a look, check it out.
Making our way into the next room, you could see how they created Game of Thrones right from the beginning. From drawings through to the different sets that we see here. It was really awesome seeing the various sets on your left and on your right with the mannequins dressed in all the original costumes that you could recognise from different episodes.
So these are the kind of background stories you get only by coming to these sort of places. This here is the outfit that Jon Snow was wearing. This is his outfit, and apparently in season 1 and 2, because they didn't have any money at that stage, they just went and bought a rug from IKEA, which is this draped thing here, and they dyed it black to fit in with wardrobe. You'd never think it was just a rug from the floor. That's it. So we've timed this really well. There's only 4 people on our tour, but it is the middle of winter, and it's also a really wintry day with travel advisories, so people just aren't going out today, but we are. What a cool tour.
So I think it was in season 1 in the Winterfell feast hall. there was a scene where this cup, if we look this way, is a Starbucks cup. And it was actually still in this scene when we watched that episode and everybody else. It was about at this point where I realised we do not have enough time.
So we're just going around different parts of Game of Thrones. This next little exhibit is Winterfell.
There is so much to see, so much to look at, so much to read, and just watching these videos here of Sansa. Oh, she was so young then. Game of Thrones went for such a long time. It was such a cool program. As we watch these short snippets from the series, they were being filmed in the very room that we were standing in. And that was really cool to be in that room and to watch those clips. This room that we're standing in is the actual room that they filmed Winterfell in. So it's not a replica, it is the room that they did all the filming in. So of course, with all of that comes, it did get very cold in here. So the fireplace at the other end, that was a real fireplace, and they brought other heating in as needed when it was super cold. Littlefinger, if you remember right at the end, when he thought that he had the two sisters wrapped around his finger, when in reality they knew what he was up to, and this is where he met his demise, was this one right here. That was where he was killed, and what they used for blood, the redness is still there today.
You know, I'm not one for museums and the like, but this is actually quite a cool day out. Quite like Game of Thrones itself, but I don't think you have to come and have a good look around here and enjoy the sets and the exhibits.
There are several rooms throughout the building that had interactive props and screens where you could become a character, where you could try and shoot with a bow and arrow, and they were really fun, like this one here. They were probably more set up for kids, but we definitely had fun doing them as well. This was a little bit freaky, creepy, I don't know, seeing a life-size model of Cersei. Kind of went right up to it because from a distance it looked pretty real.
There are a bunch of fun interactive things you can do. You see my picture there on the column of faces, hall of faces. Lots of fun things to do here.
Over here you can see the arrows, and you shoot them against the screen there to see how many White Walkers you can kill. I did try it. I don't think I would have lived for very long.
A bunch of things in here you're not allowed to touch or help yourself to, but this is one thing that you are. It's the sword on the wall. You're allowed to grab it, touch it, pretend like you're the man. It's screwed to the wall though.
Now we're at King's Landing, and this is Joffrey and Marjorie's wedding gowns. As we came through into where the map is, the large-scale map on the floor of Westeros, I so wanted to just like climb over that railing and walk around and get a better look at it.
Whilst I might not be big on museums and stuff, Danielle is fanning out to the max on this stuff. She is loving it. Okay, so just in here is the throne from the Game of Thrones. This is the original. There's replicas all around the place. This is the only place that you'll see the real throne.
We've been here for the last 2 hours. It costs $127 for the two of us together, and this place is massive. It is so cool. If you come to Ireland, you should come here. All the scenes, the sets, they're original, and It's just really cool. The costumes. There's quite a bit of interactive stuff that you can do too. Have loved it.
Well, because we left early and everything was frozen as well, we've decided to eat lunch here at the Game of Thrones tour place. You'd think it would be pretty expensive, but the all-day breakfast is €13, so like 26 NZ. It's not too bad for a tourist location, I reckon. They gouge the crap out of us. Yeah, I'm gonna try this black pudding. That's what they go on about around here in Ireland. It's kind of like sausage. It's pig's blood and other stuff from pigs. The waitress said she doesn't like it, but she said some people do. Tastes better than some things I've eaten on the road. We're off on the road and you can tell it is crazy cold here. It is so cold. There's a cold snap happening. This is one of the worst weather events in Ireland, Northern Ireland. Anyway, we're on the road. We're heading north to Belfast, Northern Ireland, to go and find some troubles.